We've been talking a lot about the McCutcheon decision, which is part of a multi-stage program to allow money to absolutely dominate the political process instead of merely overwhelmingly dominate it, as it does today. And here to talk about that process with us and give us his own thoughts, as opposed to merely echoing my own, is Ryan Clayton, who's been very active on this topic. Ryan has been on the program before. He works with my friend Cenk Uygur on the Wolf PAC, which is designed to get money the hell out of politics. So, Ryan, how the heck are you?
Well, I'm fired up, man, and angry and pissed off and ready to do something about it. I'll tell you that.
Well, good, because you know what? Man. I wish we had 320 million Americans who felt the same way, because they should.
Yeah, well, you know, about 97% of Americans, when polled, say they want to reduce the influence of corruption in politics. So there's really, you know, across ideological lines, across partisan lines, everybody wants something done about this. Now, only in the same similar poll, or the same poll, about 10% said that they think you can do anything about it. So that's really the gap that we gotta fix, is between that 10% out of the 97% that want something done about it, who actually think something can get done. That's why everybody else isn't taking action. And at Wolfpack, we have a plan to amend the Constitution and get big money out of politics, restore free and fair elections.
You know, I love the point you make about despair. I love that point, because I think that's critical. I think that the big money folks count on your despair. They want your despair. They cultivate your despair. Despair is part of their strategy. So we counteract. It's our job, all of us who oppose this and are in a position to articulate that. It's our job to fight that despair. Now, how are you fighting that despair? You got a constitutional amendment, right?
You know what gives me hope is strategy.
Ryan, did we lose you?
Some people say you want to go out and create awareness. They say you want to go out and, you know, recruit a whole bunch of people and have a whole bunch of meetings. And I'll just be honest with you. You know, we think people are really well aware enough that there's a huge problem and that we have to fix it. Now, how do you fix it, right? And what most people will answer to that question is you go to the people that are creating the problem, Congress or the Supreme Court, and wait on them to fix it. And that's what creates despair, is because the exact people responsible for the problem are the people that everybody's saying to go and ask them to fix it. You know, asking Congress to fix Congress is like asking cancer to cure cancer, right? You got a Congress with a 9% approval rating. That's lower than the King of England at the time of the Revolutionary War. But instead, what we tell people is, hey, there's another way to do this. You can go down to the state level. You can talk to your state legislators. These are people that are not the, you know, pundits on TV and the famous congressmen and women. You know, these are people that are in your local neighborhood. They're teachers and doctors and lawyers and community organizers that serve at the legislature as citizen legislators, right? And those people, if you sit down with them and you have a conversation about this problem and you show them the path to victory of how we can fix this, they actually listen. You know, and they'll do what we ask them to do. We see that time and time again with the state legislators. It's just night and day. You know, democracy might be dead at the federal level, but the beating heart of democracy is alive and well at the state level. And that's where we're putting our efforts. And that's why at wolf-pack.com, we're seeing great signs of initial success.
Well, I'm glad you got that URL in there, because I'm going to be pushing people to your website before this is over. But here's the thing. I really feel that McCutcheon clarifies what was already my position, which is we got a lot of critical issues facing us right now. We got the environment. We've got economic inequality. You know, all of the things that are going on out there that are really threatening our country's future, global future. But to me, this is the defining issue of the moment. To me, if we can't recapture the political process, we can't control corporations, we can't control the great wealth grab that's dominating the country, we can't protect the climate or the environment, because it's the same wealthy forces that are on the other side of this and that are using the government process to prevent us. So your strategy is, let's do it on the state level, but how does that work? In other words, can I use your PAC? Will it give me the tools to say to every state legislator that I vote for, state senator, whatever they might be, that I will not vote for you unless you pledge to support this constitutional amendment, for example?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'd say on all those issues, we've got the most corrupt Supreme Court in the history of this country. These people are traitors to American democracy. Alito and Kennedy and Thomas and Roberts. These people are taking a wrecking ball to the separation of wealth and state in this country, and they're really doing, they're undoing the work of the American Revolution, which was to reverse an aristocracy and put the country's government in the hands of the people. They're reinstating a moneyed aristocracy of wealth in this country through all of these bad decisions. With McCutcheon, it's just adding insult to injury. You've already taken down all the walls. You've already done all the damage, and now they're just pouring salt in the wound, saying even more money in the political process, and they're just so detached from the will of the American people. That's what gives me hope, because people are fired up and pissed off and ready to go and do something about it. And what we're doing is going down to the state level. What we do is we connect people together. We provide them with the tools. We operate as a primarily a decentralized organization where we give you the tools, the goal, you can connect with the other people in your group and start training other people and start taking action, start calling your legislators and actually solve this problem. And the strategy we're using is how we got 4 out of the last 10 amendments to the Constitution. It's how we got the 17th Amendment to the Constitution, which they got within 1 or 2 states of calling for a convention to propose an amendment, and Congress capitulated and gave them that amendment. And it's also how we got the Bill of Rights. We got the Bill of Rights in New York and Virginia said, hey, we're going to call a convention to propose these amendments because we're going to get these amendments one way or another. And that's what we have to say to Congress right now. Most amendments to the Constitution start with exactly what Wolfpack is doing at the state level. And that's how I know we're going to win. And that's how when we take those people, that 97% of people that want something done about this problem, that's how we're going to jack up that number from 10%, because our strategy actually works. It's got a historical basis of success. And if you want to participate in that victory, you should go to wolf-pack.com and join us.
Now, you said wolf-pack.com. Stupid question, but I'm going to ask it anyway because it popped into my head and I have no self-restraint. Okay? And that is, have you guys recruited any celebrities for this? Because I would imagine this would be one where star power would help attract people to your cause. I mean, I don't know any. I mean, you have Jank, who's a megastar, but other than that, have you thought about
a billion views on YouTube. He has, that's like Justin Bieber or Psy. He's like the Walter Cronkite of YouTube. He has as many people listening to the Young Turks and the TYT network every month, as many progressives on YouTube listen to him every month, as conservatives listen to Rush Limbaugh on the radio. So, we have a huge megaphone, and that's why I believe that with Jank's megaphone and his charismatic personality and his ability to really rile people up and point them to the solution, as well as the strategy that he discovered just looking at the history of how you amend the Constitution, that's the powerful mix. We're driving people together online, we're connecting them with each other, we're providing them with the tools to make this happen, and they're doing it every day, So, as far as star power, man, it's built into the pie on this one with Jank and the Young Turks.
Well, I'm charismatic too. No, I'm kidding.
I hope you're signed up, man.
I'm a little charismatic. Listen, it's great to have you on the show, Ryan. Keep up the great work. It's wolf-pack. That's wolf, like hungry like the wolf. wolf-pack.com. Ryan, Clayton, let's get the money out of politics. Let's fix this corrupt system once and for all. What do you say?
Hell yeah, man. Let's get free and fair elections once again in this country. That's what every American wants. Thanks for having me on the show today.
You bet. Thanks for coming on. I'm RJ Eskow, and we will be back in the next hour. We'll be talking about expanding Social Security, the misleading climate information coming out of Nate Silver and other sources, and what's going on at the state level. Let's take our democracy back. I'm RJ Eskow, and this is The Zero Hour.